Hello. How's it going? Happy Friday? Friday is a happy day. Such an exhausting week. Sometime I go in my car after work, and I go in my car and I close all the windows because I like to drive when the windows down, right? And I close all the windows and I just yell. I'm not gonna yell here because I don't want my neighbors or my roommate to think I'm being murdered. But I do scream. Screaming is good for the soul. It feels good. Sounds more like a hiss, but it was not an actual scream. It was an incredibly rainy week for me. It was kind of. It rained here and there, rainy-ish. So I couldn't like actually have my windows all the way down. But like I have like this little gap. A tiny gap. Cause I don't know why. Even though it's cold, it's like 0 degrees. Like sometimes it's like, it hasn't actually been 0 degrees except at night. So I haven't been driving in 0 degrees, but I have been driving like 5. I think the lowest it's been during the day is like 2 or 3 degrees Celsius. Celsius. So it is getting a little chilly, and I like to have my windows open. I don't like closed windows. Even my the windows to my room, I leave it like a tiny little bit open, and then my room gets super chilly. But I have like a warming blanket, so like a heated blanket. So I have a weighted blanket and a heated blanket. So I have my weighted blanket and then I have my heated blanket on top, and it's warm. But I still keep a little gap in my windows open because I don't like the air. I don't know why. I feel like the air inside a building when there's no open windows, it feels wrong. Something about it feels wrong. Stale air? Yeah, stale air. Can't. So like sometime when I know it's gonna be really cold at night, I'll close the window for the night and then I open it again during the day. But like it's like a tiny little bit. A tiny little bit. Like a centimeter to half a centimeter. If that makes sense? Like a tiny little bit. But it's still so cold that it gets really cold, so. But my week, oof. Crazy. Hi, NMHF. I don't know how I should call you. Well, welcome. So, yes, this week was crazy. Crazy. October is a crazy month, and the closer that we get to the holidays, the crazier it gets. Because the kids need breaks. The kids need a break. They need a whole week off. I don't understand. Here's the thing I don't understand. Is that in college and in the universities, around that time, right, there's like a mid-semester break. There's a 1 week break. So even the people in college and university have like a week break. They have a week off. But in high school, they don't. But the kids, they need a break. They need to rest because the closer, it's been already like 2 full months. They just came back from the summer, 2 months is too much. And then they start getting crazy. And then it's like I'm running around everywhere and I have so many. I mean, I'm so thankful that the fights aren't like, it's not the students I follow that gets into fights, but I do need to cover for my, like, if like the workload of my colleagues. I was gonna say team members, but of my colleagues. We're a team. We're a solid team. I love my colleagues. I love my coworkers. They're great. But only the people that have the same job as me. I don't like the teachers. Not all of them. Some are good. Some are great. But some just hear me out. This is one of the things that annoys me so much. Okay? I'm gonna complain to you guys so much, okay? So much, because this is crazy. Okay, I'll start from the beginning. Where do I start, actually? I start with the craziness, okay? So, one of my professor, because I do have evening classes in the evening. Like, I have classes in the evening, right? 2 days a week. And my professor, we were supposed to like end one class and then start the other class, but my professor, like someone that she knows died, so like she took a week off. So now I have like, when I'm supposed to have like one class at a time, I have two. So I have the workload of 2 classes. So like instead of only having classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I had class on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Today is Friday. Technically, I have a class, but it's like, you know, self-learning this time, because my professor was like, oh yeah, well it's I can't ask you to be there like 4 days straight when you all already work full time. So we're gonna do like, I don't know what it's called in English, but asynchrone in French. So like it's you know, it's kind of like you go at your own pace, you figure out the material, and then I have a nice assignment to hand in by 4 p.m. this Sunday. Okay, hear me out. I haven't started yet because it was posted this morning at 8 a.m. and I get at 8 a.m. I leave to go to work, and then I work all day, and then I get back home, and then I eat, and then I stream, and it's 4 p.m. Sunday, okay? And then I have, for the same class, okay? For the same class, I have an assignment that I haven't started that I need to hand in on Monday, this Monday, like the day right after the other assignment, by midnight. And that one is like 40% of my grade for that class. I haven't started yet, obviously. And then I'm streaming tonight because, of course I am. I'm not. I said I would, and I want to stream because this craziness is going to my head. So I need a break. And then I have like a family birthday this weekend. I have a lot of family members whose birthday is in October, so we're celebrating my grandfather, my aunt, my cousin, and like all 3 of them this like at the same time tomorrow, right? So I'm gonna be spending time with my family tomorrow, and then I have vocal training on Sunday evening. So when do I do assignments, you must ask? Well, I gotta speed run this. So I'm considering calling in sick on Monday. sick of everything. And yes, so that's a lot of things. My week has been packed. My weekend is packed. I got too many things, too many responsibilities. So yeah. Anyway, seriously, calling in sick? Yeah, but I've already called in sick twice since I started. Okay. And it's been like a month and a half, 2 months. So like it's once a month. But if I do it another time this month, it's gonna be like 3 times in 2 months, which is too much. I don't remember how many sick days I have, but like I need, so I'm thinking maybe I could do it on the job. maybe I could do my assignment on the job. Like I go to work and I just do it at work. But then I already have like a few meetings. I have a few meetings I need to do on Monday, and then me and my team, my colleagues, my coworkers, like we're like a team of 5 that have like the same title. We decided that you know, we're at a high school, right? And at a high school there's a gymnasium. So we thought that we would, you know, maybe take an hour to play badminton as a team building exercise. We're just gonna yeah, it's a team building exercise. And I think another coworker said she would bring her Switch to play Overcook as a team building exercise. Because you know, you need to plan and you need to work together and be patient, and you know, but you know, like as long as it's team building, it's approved. As long as there's like an actual reasoning behind, it's approved of. So, but I'm still gonna, maybe in the afternoon, maybe I'm gonna have a little bit of time in the afternoon to do that, hopefully. Or I just hand it in late and lose 10%. You know, it's not the end of the day, it's not the end of my life if I do that. I like to see you stream Overcooked with some others. Listen, the thing is, I don't stream a lot, right? I don't stream a lot, so I would do collabs if I streamed more, but because I don't stream a lot, I want to spend time with you without having, you know, the other person that's there. And because like during a collab, it's hard to read chat and like interact with chat and spend time with you and catch up and tell you what's going on in my life and all of that. So that's why I don't do collabs, and I haven't done collabs in a while. But yeah, so I'm gonna maybe one day when I have more time, which is one day. When am I gonna have more time? Excellent question. I don't know. Because I'm, you know, you don't see my hands, but my hand is going all over my head, like it's all up there, all over. Too many things. No pressure or anything. Just a fun thought. Yeah, I would love to do collabs, but I'd rather spend time with you guys before and focus on you. I don't want you to like, I don't want you to be just there and talking and not being able to respond properly, because there's another person that I need to think about and talk to. Nah, unless I bring someone during a collab and I just ignore them. But then that wouldn't be a collab. But yeah, I was going to say about the teachers that annoy me. Okay, some teachers are really sweet, okay, but some I'm like, I want to strangle them, you know, because for example, right, there are students that are late to class repeatedly, right? It's an issue with them. For us as, you know, special educator and like school counselor, we help kids through their difficulties and problematics, and we try to find the source of it and what causes some dynamic or some I'm trying to find the word in English because I got the terminology in French. No, I can't figure it out. But you know, like a teen is always late to class for a reason, right? Either they don't want to be in class, either they just like they're not motivated, they have like some issues with mobilizing themselves, or you know, there's some underlying thing that causes them to be late, right? And so we want to fix that. There are some teachers that are like, oh, you student, you're late too often to class, so I'm not gonna let you in. You're gonna learn. Oh, you're gonna learn that you can't be late to my class. You can't come in. I'm sorry? We don't punish someone being absent with making them absent. Like you're punishing the kid with the very behavior they're having. Oh, you're absent too often? Oh, you're late too often? Well, let me not let you in class. How does that make any sense? And there's already consequences for always being late. Like the kids have like what is it called when you need to stay after school? Detention. There's detention, okay, for people that are repeatedly late. So the student is already having a consequence. For being late, and you add another consequence because they're always late to your class. Hey, no. One time that happened, and I took the kid with me, and I went to the class, and I knocked on the teacher's door, and I was like, hey, I'm sorry, but you're gonna let the kid in. And then the teacher was like, oh, but like that person is always late to my class. He's never gonna learn if I always let him in. And like, we don't punish being absent with absence. That makes no sense. And there's already a consequence. He did the detention. He was there. He was present. He did the time for the crime. Don't add to it. And then he was let in class. But man, I fight for those kids. Jesus, I need his help for patience. Sometimes I feel like I need to do more intervention with the teachers than with the kids. Anyway, and sometimes like the kids are being taken out of class for like some ridiculous reason, and I let them stay because like we have like a little it's not a classroom, it's like a room that's like really nice and cozy. We have like dimmed lights, and like we have a desk where they can work. We have a little room with like some bean bags and like some we have some nice lights, and we have like books, and then we have like in a little corner we have like a spinning bicycle, and like we have like hand sticker on the wall so that they can like jump and like spend their energy. But like this is like a place that is supposed to be a tool for the student to like help regulate themselves if they have too much energy to get there, and then they spend it and then they go back to class, right? But there's a lot of teachers that just send the kid out of the class because they don't want them in the class. And when that happened, I'm like, okay, you can stay for like 5 and 10 minutes or 10 minutes. And then I'm just like, I let them stay for a little bit. And then I'm like, okay, you can go back to class. Oh, you go back. You go back. You go back. Your professor has calmed down. You can go back. Sometimes that's what it is. It's the teacher doesn't know. The teacher doesn't know how to regulate themselves, so they send the kid out instead. Like, this is like classroom management. They should be able to do it. Anyway, I have a lot of complaints. About the teachers, more than the students. And like sometimes they're like, oh, if you don't do this, we're going to call your it's called we call it TES in French, like TES for technician, technicien éducation spécialisée, technician education specialized education technician. And yeah, anyway, so they're like, oh, if you don't do this, blah blah blah, we're gonna call your TES. And like, we're not here to punish them. That's not our job. That's not our job. My job is to look through their agenda and make sure they go to like they go to class, they stay organized, they can regulate their emotions, and if they have too much energy, they spend the energy. We have fidget toys, we have like I have like coloring book, and I'm not here to punish the student. It's not my job. A lot of frustration for that. Don't worry, Lily. Your favorite chatter has arrived. Hello, Enki. Welcome back. Welcome. Hi. Hi, Enki. Hi. Also, a little parenthesis on Advent's GG. Advent's GG has released a new flavor, a returning flavor today. It's peach iced tea. It looks so good. I want it. I want to taste it, but I'm allergic to peaches, so I can't taste it because I'm allergic to peaches. And because Advanced GG is natural, I can't drink it. Cause like it was my favorite fruit when I was young, just like apples and like a little thing. And I would eat like so many of it. It was like all the time. And because I ate too much, I became allergic. I became allergic to, first it was apple, because I was eating apple like it was a meal, like so many apples. And then after I became allergic to apples, I switched to peaches. I became allergic to peaches. And then after peaches, I started eating a lot of cherries, and I became allergic to cherries. You literally made yourself allergic. Yeah, pretty much. But at least it's not like EpiPen allergic, you know. It just feels like my gums swell. My gum and my tongue swells a little bit. And like, but like it's not to the point where my throat closes. So that's good. But I still don't eat the fruit by precaution. Just in case it got worse. But I still do like a yearly taste test for apples during apple picking season, because like everybody's out picking apple and it's like the best juiciest yummiest apples, and so I just and then I eat one bite and like I like that was good, and then I put the apple down and like let's see if I get an allergic reaction. And so far I've had it every year, but I'm not dead yet, and I don't need an EpiPen yet. So, yep. Lily starts eating fruit a lot. Lily's allergies. Ah, dang. Here we go again. Yeah, it's like purpose. All my favorite fruits. So now I try to do it in moderation. I try. I try because like it's so hard. When I like something, I go in like a phase where I eat just that. All of that. Only that. Morning, lunch, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All of it. Morning, in the morning, evening, lunch, snack. All of that. All of that. I feel bad for people with allergies because it means there are so many dishes that they can't enjoy. Okay, but hear me out. When I was a child, like a teeny, tiny, little young gal, right? I was allergic to, drumroll, eggs. Actually, I had an EpiPen, but it's pretty common that when you have allergies very, very young, a lot of them, like it's common that they go away. Like there's a very high chance that you might not keep that allergy. So I would have like those allergy tests with like the little needles in my arm, and then they will be like, don't touch, don't scratch, because if you scratch, it's gonna be bad. And it's gonna swell, and then we're not gonna know if you're allergic or not. And I was like, okay, sure, fair, fine. And then I stopped being. Eventually, they were like, it's not swelling anymore. The egg. We can try it. We can try to try it. We can try to try it. We can try to try it. And so I did, and I didn't die. So and I was able to start eating eggs without the EpiPen. And yeah, I had a friend who had the same story. Yeah, that happens a lot. That's pretty common. And apparently according, actually, my first birthday my first birthday was actually Jello, because like I couldn't eat cake. And my mom hadn't she just recently, you just start solid at that age. And that's when we figured out I was allergic to eggs. So like my mom didn't have the time to find like a cake recipe without egg. Because by that, like when I'm back before the 2000, it was not easy to find recipes with substitution like that. Because the vegan hadn't taken over the world yet. But, so my first birthday was Jello, and then after that, subsequently, it was cake, like cake, egg-free cake. And then eventually, when I stopped being allergic to eggs, and then tried again, apparently I cried because it was so good. According to my mom, she was like, "Yeah, you cried and you said, I can't believe I missed on this all this time." And when I was a kid too, like example at kindergarten, the kindergarten, they cook there and you eat there, right? And sometimes my grandparents would visit and they would eat lunch there, but I had to bring my own lunch because I was like allergic to eggs. And I would bring like all the food that I couldn't eat, and I would bring it to my grandparents. I would be like, here, taste this. Here, taste it. Does it taste good? Does it taste good? Can you tell me how it tastes? And while I eat my own food. So that's the story of the egg allergy. But I'm not allergic to egg anymore, and I eat it every day for breakfast. It's my protein breakfast. I need to eat protein in the morning, because otherwise my brain goes like smush, like mushy brain, like no functioning. I need a protein dense breakfast, otherwise my brain is just like not waking up. It's like, please, I need the protein, and that's the only way I function. And I think that's pretty much. And honestly, I read about it, okay? Apparently, when you have ADHD, protein breakfast is super important. Super. Wait, you function? Yep. Don't you see? Don't you see my eyes full of thought? Full of thought. Fully functioning. 100%. It's like in there. Working overtime to the point where there's smoke coming out of my ears. It's going. She does, just in an incredibly chaotic way that only Jesus could understand. At least I have him that understands me. Did you see the South Park parody for French Canada? No, I don't watch South Park. I don't watch it. I don't like those edgy shows. They're boring to me. I don't know. It is very accurate. You know what? I was talking about that, because I have one of my coworker is French from France, right? And we're talking about she was talking about how like there's a bunch of expressions she doesn't know, and like we were talking about, and then eventually I don't know how it came up, but we talked about sᴜᴘᴘᴏʀᴛ, which is like it's a band. I don't know if I would call it a band, but like it's a very classic Quebec group that talks about, is very politically inclined, and one of the songs that is like the most catching is like Libérez-nous des libéraux, libérez-nous des libéraux, which is like liberate us from the liberals. And it's really good, and like it's a rap, I think it's a rap song. Is it a rap song? But that's it, that part is singing, but it's like it's one of the, and I was singing that to my coworker. At least I love my coworker. At least I love him. Even though we're like tight. You know, like how adversity brings you together? That's how it feels with my team. We're like 5 and like we're tight. We're tight. We go. But yeah. But that's cause we're under pressure by the professor, the direction, everywhere. Good, you have a squad? I do have a squad. We have a squad, and we complain a lot. We vent to each other. We laugh about it. We gotta laugh about it, you know? The professor sounds like a super villain. They are. Some of them straight up are. Like I think some needs to be straight up, like, you know, reported, because they yell at a student like, oh, that's yelling at student. It's called educational abuse or educational violence. I don't remember, but it's violence against students. That's a no. But I haven't seen it of my own 2 eyes, but I've heard about it. And then sometime I go to the class, but like when I'm there, the professor is okay. So, but I keep keeping my eyes peeled, because the moment I see them doing it, reported. I'm not gonna let that happen. October is definitely a crazy month. Yes, it is a crazy month. It's going crazy. Crazy. Got my midterm exam grade back. Was it good? Did you do ice? Did you do good in your philosophy test? Did you do good? Did you make me proud? 80%? 80% for what class though? Is scored above average? I'm proud of you! That's good. That's good. My first philosophy class, not to brag, but my first philosophy class, I finished my class with 100%. Cause it was like the logic thing, where you're like, oh yeah, you just need to make sure your follow the structure, and make sure your argument have no logical fallacies. So that was easy peasy. But I had, and like, okay, that was what was super easy though, is my professor, back when I did my first philosophy class, like at the midterm, he was like, okay, well, everybody that has 100% at the midterm, you're gonna have 100% at your finals, because I know you understand logical fallacies. And if you understand it, well, I don't need to test you again. So I was like, yes. And then I got 100% on the midterm, and then I didn't have to do my I didn't even have to do the final, because they were like, yeah, you don't need to do it, you're good. But like there was still like the mini tests and like how I understand Socrates and like the books and like and that like that was like, I still had to study for that, but like the part about logical fallacy, that was all good. And then the other classes, you know, you had to like prepare a little bit more about like different blah blah blah. So I didn't have like 100% of those, but I still had pretty good. And then I became a philosophy tutor. I don't know how that happened. I got it. I'm not good at explaining philosophy. I'm just like, yeah, well, it makes sense. You just need to have solid argument. And like, I can't teach people how to think. How do you teach people how to think? So yeah, I was horrible at it, and then I stopped being a philosophy tutor. I tried. Not my fault, I'm not good at explaining. Thank you for the encouragement, by the way. It means a lot. Gotta stick together. Cause like it's difficult, you know. Going through college is difficult. It's a lot of studying and working, and a lot of the time the professor you have in one class don't understand that you have other classes, and then they're like, yeah, do that, but like you're like, how can I read 80 pages plus do an assignment by next class? You're crazy crazy teacher. But my first philosophy tutor, one of the things I remember the most about what he talked about was squirrels. Because he loved. I'm not a teacher. I'm a specialized educator, which teaches emotional regulation and organization skill, and like just like conflict resolution, and like a few other things, and like school counselor, kind of like a mash the two into each other. Teacher adjacent, yeah, teacher adjacent, because I have beef with the teacher. Not all of them. Some are really sweet and I love them, like I could kiss them. But some I need to pray to God for patience to work with them. My major is history, though. Oh, that sounds so fun. How does it feel to learn history? Does it worry you? Cause like I feel like studying history is studying the patterns of the world and of the time, and then you can notice how the time changes in the way very similar to the way it changed in the past, and then you're like, oh, I'm doomed. And that's how it is to be an historian. You understand that you're doomed, but you can't do anything about it because nobody value historians. But I value them. But like a lot of the time, it's like one of those field that people think is useless, but it's not. It's super important. History is important. Learn your history. Not you, Ice. Yeah, you're doing good, but you learn your history, chat. I love histories because there are so many stories. I love stories. I like to read, but I haven't been able to read all week. All week. No, I want to read. I have a book I want to read, But I haven't had time to read my story. I love reading. Do you like reading? I think we should start a book club in the Discord. I already started like a book club for Lord of the Mysteries, but there was only one person that was reading Lord of the Mysteries. But then if we do more books, we can do a big book club. And then I pick the book. You guys don't have a say. And I pick the book, and then we read it together. But aren't book clubs just wine and drinking? No, it's you drink. You don't drink. It's you read, and then you talk about what you read. Because like the book I'm reading at the moment, I really like the use of passive voice and how it makes it so that like there's like the dissociation of the character, because it's happening in like a time of war, and there's like PTSD, and like there's the use of passive voice in it that use like a dissociation. And there's a lot of there's what is it called? I don't know what it's called in English. But like how, like, you know, they use like a lot of words from the body and like from bugs to describe other things that cause this like really like disgust when you read it. And I tab the parts where I really feel like disgusted. I'm like, ugh, no. It causes like this revolting, you know. Metaphorical? No, not metaphorical. Not adjective. No. It's let me check it. I forgot. It's like it's like when it's like word adjacent, you know? Like if I say example, eye, ears, words that create an atmosphere. Right. Like they described. Okay, so for example, because of trauma, now the main character is scared of the dark, and there was a part where it described like the dark as in the shadow as fingers, like just like fingers, like just like climbing and gripping everything, and it was like ooh, revolting. But like it made it like, you know, it's like the words not descriptive. No, it's not. It's okay, let me check. Procédé d'écriture. And then les procédés cystic. Is that it? Give me a second, okay? Procédés lexicaux. Un champ lexical. Okay, champ lexical in English. Lexical field. Yeah, the lexical field used in the book. So at the lexical field used in the book, it uses a lot of like vocabulary from like the body or from like bugs that like to describe other things. Or like, oh, one time it described a green dress as a green like poison. I was like, delicious. That was really good. I never saw like something described as green like poison. Like similes, metaphors, all that it's classic, you know, like, but it's more like the lexical field that is used that I really like, the use of passive voice that they use that I really like, and also what else? Oh yes, they use a lot of personification that I really like. But similes, I don't know, I see there's so many of them that like it's used too often. They're not really like out of the ordinary for me to like really like them more than the other. Like sure, like you can do like nice similes, but you know what? You want me to go grab my book and read you passages? Wait, let me grab one passage and tell you what I found disgusting. Because I tab it. I like to tab, like put little tabs in my book, and then so I can go back, and then I'm like, oh, I think this is foreshadowing, or this I like this, or oh, I don't like that, or okay. Oh yeah, also there's necromancy in the book. There was a holy war, and then the people that does necromancy won, and then like there's people that use dead bodies to live in them, and they're undying. Oh yeah, fantasy book.